straight to the big story. Unemployment figures going up again to 34.9%, an increase of half a percentage point. The story, of course, really is that this is still, if you look at the comparable data, the highest number on record. Mandla Shikwambane is the president of the EFF Student Command. Mandla, good afternoon to you. This affects particularly young people coming out of university, out of tertiary institutions. It's in fact one of the defining crises of our society. What do you think we need to do to grow the economy and to create new jobs?
Thank you very much, Stephen, and also thanks to your listeners. But as young people of South Africa, we are not actually happy with the developments which are in our country. South Africa is actually dying. The economy of this country is actually going down, and even also the economic activities of the country are going down. It is unfortunate, Stephen, that we just heard of the increase of the petrol prices in our country today as we speak. Just after that now, there's an increase in the unemployment rate, or more particularly young people, which are South Africans, who are not working as we speak today. So we are facing a very huge crisis as young people of South Africa and as South Africans in particular. And there's no one who stand on our side to come and defend us, to come and protect us, to come and provide those jobs for young people. So South Africa is dying, and we have a government which does not even take even a single political will or political intentions into solving these issues, because year in and year out, quarter in and quarter out, unemployment rate is increasing as compared or as opposed to decreasing on its own. So it's a crisis that which we are finding ourselves on. So we are asking ourselves as young people of South Africa as to what is exactly that needs to be done. And the only answer for that question is that we need a government that is pro-creating or creative of jobs for young people and South Africans in particular, because this current government
Mandla,
for any political will.
Yeah, so Mandla, I mean, this is the question then. What would a government do, whichever government it is? Growing an economy is a difficult thing to do. I mean, people around the world struggle with this. We have bigger problems than some other countries for various reasons, particularly around, say, education. Where would you start in growing the economy if you were in government?
Remember, Stephen, we've got young people who are capable, young people who, and I'm happy that South Africans, they are actually taking it upon themselves, and young people in particular, they are going to school. But the painful issue here is that even after when they went to school and they finished and completed their degrees and diplomas, yet when they finish or they get outside of the university and TVET colleges doors, there's no jobs awaiting for them outside. And we've got a government also that needs, or that's supposed to be the one that is taking care of all these young people, which are not there to assist these young people, which are not there to assist South Africans in creating jobs for these people. I mean, how do you justify a fact that we are sitting at more than 30% of unemployment rate? And we've got also extended unemployment rate of people who have been looking for jobs. We have gave up of looking for jobs, which is sitting at 46.6% as we speak now, which is a crisis, and it must be seen as a crisis, and it must be attended now. So our government of the day, which is the government of the ANC, does not care about what is happening in the country. What they care is that they must continue and grow corruption instead of growing our economy and expanding our economy and create more jobs. We are seeing a government which is growing corruption as we speak today. And we are saying, as young people of South Africa, at some point we need to take initiatives. We need to be serious about our own future, and we start challenging this government of the day, because they're not doing anything. When it's time to go out and remove them, let us go in numbers, let us go and vote. And when we vote, we must vote these people out, because there's nothing they're doing for us.
Mandla, the local elections are over. We'll be able to do it all again in about 2 years.
Yes, I'm speaking because they are over, these elections, and young people, when I check, they are not voting. I'm here to encourage them that you are not voting, and unemployment rate is high.
We've heard you. I'm going to come back to you. Dennis Blum joins us now as well, spokesperson for Congress of the People. Dennis, good afternoon to you. Where would you start in creating jobs? I put the question to Mandla a moment ago, that this is something that many countries battle with. We've been battling with this really since the 1970s.
Good afternoon, Stephen, and good afternoon to the viewers. No, we are saying that for as long as the ANC is in power, job creation it's a thing that is very far from achieving, because this government don't think and plan properly. Their only thing is to be selfish, and they think of themselves. Let me make an example. Tito Mboweni, Stephen, have said, I think last year, that when this pandemic, COVID-19, is over, then the first thing that we must do is to create jobs for take over jobs from these foreigners. He have said illegal, undocumented, and documented. 10% must, 90% of the workforce must be South Africans. 10% can be. He have said there's nothing wrong in doing that. We must start there. You see the import.
Dennis, if we look at the numbers of unemployed South Africans and the number of foreign-born people living here, even if you stopped every single foreign national in the country from working, you would still have millions upon millions of South Africans without jobs. Let me put the same question that I put to Mandla Shikwambane a moment ago to you. I mean, I appreciate that both of you come from opposition parties and you want to attack the governing party. I understand that. But that's not the question. The question I put to Mandla Shikwambane a moment ago, and it's the same question I put to you. How would you create jobs? Not use the jobs that we already have. How would you create them?
Stephen, the first thing that we are saying how to create jobs is to empower people with skills. You must not think of you can eradicate unemployment when you are people must depend on the government for jobs. You must empower, give them skills so that they must be able to also create jobs for other people. But for as long as we are saying these people, our people must be job seekers, you will never ever address the issue of unemployment. You see what the apartheid government have done to the white community is to empower them with skills. The Afrikaners were not unemployed because their government have looked after them, not handouts, Stephen, but skills. You must have. You see, in the olden days, Stephen, there was trading schools where people, young people, were sent to learn skills. There was not this thing of depending on government alone. That you will never, ever beat this unemployment, Stephen.
Mandla Shikwambane, can I bring you in at this point again, because I think this is an important point. I would suggest, and I'm not someone who, I'm an older person, let me put it like that, middle-aged person, but I would say that our education system has failed young people. Mandla, would you agree with that? I mean, do many of the problems start there? Is Dennis onto something when he says that people aren't receiving the right skills? Especially, Mandla, if I may say, when you go into the fourth industrial revolution, we don't even have cheap data.
Stephen, I think you are quite all right at some point that our government and the educational system that which we're having in South Africa is failing South Africans. Hence, I said to you when I started, when I began, that we've got a lot of young people who went to school, who went to universities, who went to TVET colleges, because TVET colleges on its nature, it's actually created to address the issues of skills that the spokesperson of COOP is speaking about. But the type of skills that these young people are getting there today are irrelevant skills as we speak now, because even after when they've completed their studies, still yet, they can't get jobs. And they can't get jobs simply because of one thing. There are no jobs ready awaiting for these people to take over. Let me tell you, the only thing that needs to be done and to make sure that jobs are created in South Africa, it's when we speak of a massive industrialization. When we speak of a massive, it used to happen previously, by the way, where we will have a lot of our factories, we've got a lot of our firms in operative, we even produce products here in South Africa. For example, if we were to produce a BMW, the BMW must not only be assembled in South Africa, but South Africa must also be able to produce a BMW by themselves. I'm just giving a nearest example or a bigger picture of it. We can't even produce our own teaspoon. We can't even produce our own mere things that which need to be produced here in South Africa. The more we've got more industries in South Africa, the more we've got more firms directed to a particular or a specific skills that which are needed from South Africans. That's where we're going to have these young people getting jobs. Because we can speak to say, give people skills, and then you give them skills, where are they going to perform those skills? Because there are no factories that they need to go and perform those skills. So you need to start also starting from the ground, create industries, create factories for these young people, create factories for these people of South Africa, so that even after you have given them skills, then you know where to send them. Giving them skills without knowing where to send these people to go and perform their skills is as much as useless as they have done nothing. So we need to start industrialization. Let's create more factories, let's create more jobs, and let's create more factories for our people.
Dennis, is there a moment where we went wrong? I mean, somewhere in the 1990s where there was an opportunity to do that proper reindustrialization, that industrialization that Mandla is talking about. Did we miss an opportunity there?
Stephen, 100% correct. You know, Stephen, I am always encouraging young people to go and take skills. You know, there's a shortage of welders in the country, plumbers in the country. Each and every household needs a plumber. Each and every electricians. We must import electricians. We must import welders. We must import a lot bricklayers and what. Every day there's buildings going up. Why are we only concentrating on universities, TVET colleges and what? I am encouraging people, young people, all the time, because you see the mentality of going to university and what, it's a real curse in our society, because we don't empower our people. Yes, it is true what Mandla is saying, that we in this government have demolished all factories and what. You see, in the Western Cape, Stephen, there was factories, clothing factories. They are all shut down because we are importing cheap things from China and all over. People are unemployed. People are sitting with skills, dressmaking, clothing, and so on. Now, we have closed those. Since 1994, we have closed Redstrufoam, for instance, where they have manufactured quality suits, closed down. A lot of factories have closed down. We must reopen and stop this cheap imports from other countries and start creating jobs, open those factories, open those shops, so that we, our people inside the country, must get jobs.
Dennis Bloem, we'll have to leave it there. It's much more complicated than that, if I may say, because you'd have retaliation from China, but I appreciate the point that you're making. Dennis Bloem is the National Spokesperson for Congress of the People. Mandla Shikwambane, thank you very much indeed for your time, President of the EFF Student Command.